Okay. I think it started. This is going to be a buffer thing that I'm going to cut out, of
Cool.
course, because I'm just rambling.
Buffer, buffer, buffer.
Yeah. Alright, so this will be our first attempt at making a character. Um,
Attempt?
well, I mean, I'm sure we're probably going to succeed, but, you know,
Okay.
we like to set the bar low the first time.
Acceptable. Reasonable.
So I guess why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll start from there.
Okay. My name is Andrew Otway. I'm a Canadian nerd, and a Canadian politics nerd. And I have a bunch of stuff. I'm at Aotway on the Twitters, and I've been playing 4th edition for probably about 3 or 4 years, and that basically was the beginning of my nerdosity, or rather the acceleration of my nerdosity, let's say.
You've hit
Um,
critical nerd.
yeah, no, I definitely did. The first time I picked up a D20, I was hooked.
Yeah,
And it's been uphill ever since.
I understand. I started small. I bought the red box from a bookstore that was closing, and then one of my friends was like, "Oh yeah, I ran a campaign before." We tried it once, and I was like, "Yeah, we're doing this." And then
I
somehow I ended up
I
being it.
was I was fortunate enough to live with a few other nerds who were far better versed in nerdery than I was. But I grew up in a pretty nerdy house. Looking back, I was the youngest, so I didn't always get what was going on. But I had a Warhammer 40k army when I was 7,
Oh
so
God, all the money.
thankfully I didn't have to buy any of it. I had older
Yeah,
brothers for that.
yeah. That'd been way too much allowance money. I've saved for a year. I could buy a Space Marine.
Just one, and no war gear for it.
Oh no.
God no.
All right. Well, let's get started. I guess. Do you have your character creator of choice open?
I do.
All right. Now, I remember talking earlier. I think you said you wanted to be a changeling, right?
I do. Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure that was still the plan. Um, let's see. Now, do you have any um, preference as far as classes go? I know
I
you.
think I'm gonna do the Barbarian Berserker.
Okay.
They're an Essentials class, but they're probably the most complicated of the Essentials classes. And they sort of oscillate between being defenders and strikers.
Okay. That should that should work.
Hmm.
Help fill two different niches.
Exactly.
I can live with that. Okay. Barbarian Berserker. Alright, now we get to the fun part. Let's do some dice rolls and see how terrible your stats are going to be.
Oh my. So 4d6 keep 3.
Yeah.
Right. Is there any way to roll that 6 times, or do I just hit up and enter
Unfortunately,
6
you have to copy and paste it.
times? Okay. 1. Ooh. 2.
15, 13, 14, 9, 11,
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and
That's 6.
14. I mean, that's pretty average.
That's a hell of a lot better than last time.
Last time you got a 4, so I'm pretty sure anything above that would be pretty damn
Above-
good.
Above a 2 and 3 ones.
Yeah.
Which was
I
impressive.
saw that, and I kind of laughed out loud wherever I was. I think my wife looked at me funny.
Good.
And then I told her, and then she laughed too. So, haha.
I'm improving lives around the world.
Alright, so let's see. We got a 15, two 14s, a 13, an 11, and a 9.
I think I'm going to drop. Oh jeez. Strength isn't even going to be my highest ability score afterwards. I think I'm going to drop the 15 in strength,
Okay.
because strength is how I do.
Word.
Um, the 14s are going to go into con and dex, because those are secondary stats.
Okay.
Probably put the 9 into int, because that suits the character.
Mm-hmm.
Barbarian good at smash.
Yeah, yeah. And you're still, I
Um,
mean, you're reasonably smart. Just not as much as, the wizards are going to be, which is, I guess, understandable.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the 13 into wisdom,
Wisdom.
and then the 11
11 will be
therefore goes into charisma.
charisma. Gotcha, alrighty. So we've got that. Apparently, my character builder does not have the barbarian berserker, so I'll trust you on that part.
I can export them to a website and fire that over to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Just I think you should have access to upload it to the Dropbox.
Okay,
So whenever you do that, just throw it there,
Yeah.
and we should be good.
not a problem.
Now, as far as training,
Yes, for skills.
yar.
I get 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I can choose from actually a good selection of them. But I'm probably going to take nature and endurance because delicious,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and probably acrobatics
Okay.
over athletics.
Acrobatics. For some reason, it's saying. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, I didn't put the stat points in, so it's like you have -1 on your strength modifier, and I was like, that is not true at all.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Am I coming in quiet or am I coming okay?
You're good.
you're fine.
Okay, I think I'm muting my microphone now.
Yes.
Correct.
You're muted now.
Excellent. I'm learning to use a new headset.
Great.
All right. So we've got that. As far as feats, did you have any preference for what kind of foot you want? I think you only get to
I'm
pick one at
probably a
level 1.
left.
Okay, left.
Yeah.
Grilled,
Oh,
medium
don't
rare?
encourage him, dude.
Too late. Or which one are you talking to?
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Andrew.
Yes.
I'm Mike. J. Darkson. Hi.
Hello, Mike. I'm Andrew, also known as Oates.
Oots.
For feats, I'm probably going to take the superior weapon training
okay.
in, what do you call it? The Executioner's Axe.
Okay. Let's see.
Because I still kind of want to do that character concept I mentioned to you earlier. Someone devoted to the Raven Queen and just generally studying death.
Oh,
Works
we'll
for
get
me.
along famously.
I plan on having a journal, which I consult and add notation to.
Is there poetry in your journal?
Thankfully, no.
Are you sure? 'Cause
The poetry of death.
Worshipping the Raven Queen, there's some good synergy here.
Yeah, and the whole changeling no one understands me angle.
Yeah, there you go.
I can, and whenever I need to, I can just have the emo hair going.
Crawling in my skin.
All right. So we've got all that. Powers. I think you
Delicious.
get 2 at wills, 1 encounter, and 1 daily.
Yes, the funky thing about the Berserker Barbarians
Mm-hmm.
Is they're a defender up until they use a power with the primal keyword,
Interesting.
at which point they become strikers. And they add some damage to their other stuff. But they have a couple other at wills that have martial instead of primal,
Mm-hmm.
which lets them remain tanky.
Nice. Okay.
So for the first one, I'm going to take Stalk and Strike. And I'm going to close my door because I have roommates.
Or ghosts, either way.
Yeah, either way, the door will slow them down.
You should put a pentagram on the door, and I think it bars them from entering. I've watched Supernatural enough times.
Okay. I'm going to have to find some blood and or a knife.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
Or salt around all the doorways and windows.
So Stalk and Strike is the effect I shift 2 squares before the attack.
Nice.
Which, they're very, very mobile.
Yeah, mobility is always good, especially shifting mobility.
Yeah. And I'm going to take... going to be the 2-handed flavor of tank as well.
Okay.
And probably take Run Down, which is same thing, 1 weapon plus strength damage, and the target is slowed on hit.
Nice.
Yes, it's slightly rude, so it should help the rest of the party,
Yeah.
close it and murder things.
Always a good plan. All right, so those are your at wills. What you thinking for encounter power?
And counter power, I'm looking... Ooh, that looks like fun.
It's nice when one just kind of jumps out at you like that.
It is. Although there are others that also look fun. Oh, that's just rude. I think I'm going to take Batter Down, which deals 2 weapon plus strength mod, and then you knock the target prone.
Sweet. If we have if we end up with a wizard, you can batter him, and then he can fry him, and it'll be delicious.
You rehearsed that, didn't you?
I did not actually. I'm just that good.
Goodness. And then for the daily,
Yes.
I feel like taking something that I personally think is mandatory on all barbarians forever, which is Life-Ending Strike.
Yeah, sounds appropriate.
You can use it when charging, and it deals 4 weapon plus strength mod damage.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd definitely agree with that choice.
It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. Definitely sounds like it ends some lives.
The Barbarian Berserker gets a Heartland option because they don't get Rage in really the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I'm probably going to take... there's 3 options. There's Temperate Land, Frozen Land, and then Arid Desert. And I'm going to take the Arid Desert because I think we already vaguely agreed that Changelings were desert dwellers.
Yeah, we were gonna flesh all that out after we get the character itself made, kind of figure out
Perfect.
some characteristics of the race as a whole.
Fantastic. And what are the odds I could start with an Executioner's Axe?
How much? Let me see how much they usually run. We'll go from there.
It's 30 gold, but it's superior, so it's probably rare.
I'm gonna say you can have. That should be fine.
Okay.
You have a Maimer's Axe. It's not quite as good as an Executioner's Axe.
It'll finish the job, and it won't ever. It can't go from 1 to
Yeah.
1 to 100.
It'll fracture a neck. It won't break it.
It's better at targeting arms or legs.
Yeah, that should be fine. I figure we're gonna start where you guys have kind of been doing this sort of thing for a little while. You're not
Hunting down and killing magic users?
Barry?
You're not the Inquisitions.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, I thought this was Dark Heresy. Where am I?
Yeah.
Purge the Xenos.
Yes. Suffer not the witch to live.
That's gonna go really great when y'all are all different races.
Hey, I'm a changeling. I'm every species.
That's even more of a problem. You're all the enemies at once, and none. All right. So we've got that. Let's see. Executioner's Axe. He said. You guys get all the general adventurer kit thing for free with the the bed pack and bedroll and flint and steel and belt pouch, 2 sun rods, 10 days worth of trail rations, some rope. The general. I'm going into an adventure and want to be slightly prepared, Boy Scout style.
Yeah,
I think you mean lynching utilities.
that's what the rope's there for.
Right.
And the sun rods are to illuminate the example at night. Y'all are messed up.
Let's go with that.
So, Barbarian, I figure you could probably use, like light armor?
The Arid Desert thing?
Mhm.
Yeah, the Arid Desert starter is when you were wearing cloth or no armor.
Is that from Dark Sun?
It's Heroes of the Feywild, actually. Arid Desert is when you were wearing cloth or no armor and not using a shield. You gain a +3 bonus to AC and +2 to reflex.
Okay. So you doing
And-
cloth or loincloth?
Probably the cloth.
Okay, thank you.
Loose-fitting, baggy clothing sort of thing.
Okay.
And then at 4th and at 10th, or at 4th, you get resist 5 fire. Because you grew up somewhere slightly warmer than normal.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like Louisiana. I have no fire resistance. I sunburn way too easily.
I'm pretty sure I'm vulnerable fire.
Let's see. Yeah, but you get like ice resistance, which is pretty good.
That's true.
That happens more often. Okay, so we got that. Nobody starts off with any magic items just yet. I think that should be it for equipment, huh?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's see. We got feats, powers, all that. Is there anything else we need for the character in particular? Oh, yes, we do. Name.
The name is Foz. F-O-Z. And yes, it's a Z. Just getting this out of the way.
Z. Alright. Foz. Any last name Foz?
No.
Okay. Foz of unknown last name. Alright. We got the species.
Because I'm changeling, I'm gonna leave the height and weight fields blank.
Okay.
Or actually, I'm just gonna leave the default range in there, which is 5'7" to 6 foot and 120 to 160 pounds.
Okay. Works for me.
And then age is probably gonna be early 30s.
Okay.
So I've got 31 entered. I just typed that in.
31. Alright. Does your person, I know that, changeling, so the gender thing is kind of fluid. Do they present themselves more often, yours in particular, as any particular gender?
Generally, no.
Okay, so you're David Bowie.
I wish I was as pretty as David Bowie. I only have a 13 charisma.
We all wish we were as pretty as David Bowie.
That's also true.
Alright. We got age. Deity, you said Raven Queen?
Yes.
Okay.
Crawling in my skin.
Alignment, what are you thinking?
Lyman I've got is good.
Okay.
Her following, or his following, or its following, depending on how Fuzz feels at the moment, of the Raven Queen is mostly going to be studying death so as to A, better understand it, and B, help people who are grieving, letting them know that the pain has ended and that sort of thing.
Cool. You and I think you and Mike are gonna have some interesting interactions. Seeing as I think he was saying he was gonna be a revenant, so
Okay.
he'll probably definitely be an extended case study for you.
We will get along famously.
All right.
Like a box of kittens on fire.
So let's see. Changelings in general. I think we said you generally prefer desert type
Yes.
environment. Okay.
And for a fun bit of flavor,
Mm-hmm.
this is obviously up to your discretion, but they reproduce basically via mitosis.
Budding. So
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
A pseudopod, sort of, and then it
So
sloughs off after a while. And
They split off into a little thing, and it's baby
Sloughs off is my new favorite
baby
word.
age, right? It comes out as baby age, but still pretty much, their genetics. Okay,
exactly.
gotcha. Baby age.
So wait, are you
monk.
like a Sari? So you rub up against somebody that you take their genes and
Vaguely, except Mass Effect spoilers. If you actually go into the codexes, they basically, in 3, I think, if you go deep enough into the codex, there's somebody investigating that as complete and utter bullshit.
Interesting.
And they are basically genetic clones of the one Asari that was pregnant and carried the child.
Hmm.
And then just random mutations, not unlike bacteria.
Interesting.
I don't know if I believe that.
You could maybe do a thing where, say, if a changeling meets a new race that nobody else has met, maybe their contact with it allows them to change into it.
Yeah,
From
It-
then and all their offspring.
I like that. They have to have met the thing to
Yeah.
change into the thing.
Have to meet a
And that can be
thing,
passed down as genetic information.
Or
That's actually really creepy.
Sisters have met a thing to change into it.
I believe you've muted yourself.
It mutes automatically when I type. It's one stupid thing that Google Hangouts do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the environment. So what sort of society do you think they have? Are they more nomads? Do they have little tribes that are normally in place? Do they have huge towns?
Nomadic. What
Oh,
with the whole
okay.
desert theme going on,
Fair enough. Nomadic.
and but welcoming to travelers if like kind of well, I was gonna say like newfies. They're almost eerily friendly.
Almost eerily friendly.
Are you
keeping that?
Canadian?
Yes. My apologies.
No, I'm Canadian by I'm
By
half
Association.
He's Canadian by accident.
Canadian. No, I'm half Canadian. My dad was Canadian. My mother was not Canadian.
He got the maple syrup baptism, and he's one of you guys now.
Yeah. Also, Canada's leading cause of death.
But really, I mean, it's delicious.
Oh God.
Like real maple syrup? Yes. Not,
Yes.
But have you had real maple syrup?
Yes, I grew up. Well, I grew up. Grow up.
No, not you. I'm challenging Mr. New Orleans here.
I
You
have.
may know what our dad
It is.
potato chips taste like, but has he had real maple syrup?
I have had real maple syrup. It is expensive
God
as
damn it,
balls
Jeremy.
down here.
I will Secret Santa you some.
I will Secret Santa you some crawfish boiled potato chips.
It's not secret anymore.
It really isn't. We've ruined Secret Santa for.
It is if we're not expecting it anymore.
That's
I'll,
also true.
I'll
I
Secret
have
Santa
the
it to you in
goldfish.
February. All right, so we have the general environment. We have their society. What's the average lifespan on a good day of a changeling?
Let's go up to like 110,
Okay.
and tempered by sort of how what society like if a changeling moves to Elflands, it probably extends.
Okay.
If they hang out with a bunch of like half orcs who I think they die kind of like mayflies every 6 months or so, probably shorter.
Yeah. I leave behind my bud. I die now. All right. Now, how did your guy get involved in being a barbarian berserker student of the Raven
Barbarian.
Queen?
That's a very good question. Foz has probably always been sort of I don't want to say aloof, but
Punchy?
yeah, let's go with that. Actually, yeah, sort of a shit disturber. So smashing things and the whole primal aspect of that, and the rage aspect is not going to be a stretch for Foz.
Okay.
The Raven Queen thing is probably going to be just. Actually, let's say it's studying why changelings' lifespans alter with the societies that they enter,
Okay.
and just studying death in general from there, because it's in the wheelhouse. Oh goodness.
Hmm.
I just noticed that Google has recommended apps, silly hats.
You can't have a silly hat because you don't have a webcam yet.
Damn it, Amazon, ship faster.
All right. Now, Foz, does he have any sort of surviving family, or is the whole tribe sort of like one big family, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
everybody's gonna have some sort of like it probably goes to like tribes are probably extended families.
Okay.
And yeah, a decent sized extended family that Foz is left behind to go adventure in whatever town.
Okay. Actually, on the way home was sort of zoning out and kind of brainstorm some stuff for your guy. I'm gonna have to shoot it by you after this, but I think it could be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, so I think we may have all the stuff for your guy, unless you wanted to throw anything else in.
I kind of want to have. Actually, no. I think that's just about good. Apologies in advance. Well, actually, I don't really have to apologize to you because you're the DM. You're going to enjoy this, but Foz is probably going to be pretty short attention span. Oh, hey, there's a room, and the rogue might be meticulously checking it for traps, and Foz will just
Yeah.
walk right.
Move, rogue! I have to kick this door
Just-
down.
Just bored now.
Yeah.
Doors going open.
You don't understand. I have to do this.
And I'm sort of thinking I'm going to take feats to sort of play at the more changeling aspect.
Okay.
There's a couple, like, you can squeeze through narrow spaces at full speed, and you don't grant combat advantage because you have no bones, and you just sort of goop through them.
That's kind of awesome and super weird. I like it.
I'm tempted to be an undead changeling.
Foz would have an entire journal dedicated to you, probably an entire stack.
Hold my armor. I have to turn into pudding now.
I'm looking for stuff that has dexterity and charisma.
That would
scores.
that's a changeling.
There's also drow. I don't know if there's drow in your world.
Oh, fair warning, I'm not at all min-maxed. I'm a berserker with 13 wisdom and 13 charisma.
I figure the ones that aren't min-maxed are usually the most fun to play. The ones who actually have, shortcomings and stuff like that.
Yeah, the thing about 4th that I loved a lot was it was, like, the combat was meticulous. And I'm not sure how meticulous I'm going to be with plus 2 to hit, but we'll find a way.
Fair enough. Alright. I guess we should move on to Mike. Give me just a second. We're going to have a brief musical interlude, so I know when to cut. Okay. I don't know if anybody else could hear that.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
I've kind of had to tweak the volume a bit, because usually it's way too loud, and then I found the master music volume level thing. So, yeah, that's good. All right.
So what are we doing for ability scores? Are we doing point buy?
Roll 4d6, keep 3, 6 times.
Oh, do we have to? I hate rolling dice.
They'll probably end up better than my first set.
If you want to do point buy, I would allow it. It's really whichever you would prefer. But once you choose one, there is no going back.
Yeah, I'll share with the rest of the class.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm a little bit scared as to whatever's going on over there.
Hi, Renee.
Nice. We're not getting started on this yet, Mike. Don't do
Oh,
it.
we are. It's too late. We've just started.
All right. What sort of character were you thinking of, Mike? Actually, first, why don't you introduce yourself and give us a little background on how much of a nerd you are?
Well, hey, I'm Mike J. Darkson Berard. I've been programming computers since the mid-'80s. I've been gaming since around then. I played my first role-playing game was the Wizards of the Coast. Sorry, the West End Games D6 Star Wars, which I found coming out of Star Tours in either Disneyland or Disney World. I can't remember which.
Nice.
I conned my grandmother into trying to play it with me. Needless to say, that wasn't the best role-playing experience. But since then, I played a bunch of D&D, and I've been kind of the DM in my region for my friends since the mid to late 90s. I'm an amateur author and professional father. I'm an amateur father as well. Married, 2 kids, 2 dogs, 2 cars, 1 house.
What kind of dogs?
Seething envy for people with crawdad potato chips.
What kind of dogs? This is important.
I have huskies.
Good.
I feel like huskies would probably melt down here.
Strangely enough, their coat keeps them both warm and cool.
That's pretty cool.
Whereabouts are you located?
I live in the nation's cesspool. The cesspool on the Potomac. I'm just outside of D.C.
Okay.
I was about to say Detroit? That's terrible.
I was going to say New Jersey, so
I was born in Detroit.
Did you meet RoboCop?
No, I was born. I wasn't you. Well, maybe if I did, I don't know. Right? I was just a wee
A wee lad. A wee lass. Very good.
wee lad. All right, so
let's see.
how do I roll 46, keep 4? Roll
Keep 3.
Keep 3.
wrong. D6. Don't mute, thank you. So what's the thing to roll 46? Oh, roll 4d6, keep 3.
Yeah. There you go. Minus the
How do I
period.
do that 6 times?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You can just hit up and enter.
Really?
Yes.
Mother. I mean, awesome.
Not to turn result.
I've probably spent like 90 hours on Roll20, so I'm getting there.
Ugh, terrible.
You poor thing.
For the record, I rolled 12, 10, 12, 16, 14, 12.
You're very even. Like, you know, so there's that.
First time someone hasn't called me odd.
It's odd that you're so even.
Word. I like it.
Then
All right.
3 12s and a 10. 12, 12.
Alright, so what do you
Status legal.
what are you thinking of putting your 16 in?
Oh, that's funny.
Hmm.
That is actually a 22-point play.
That is one of the standard arrays, isn't it?
Yep.
That's
16,
kinda
14,
great.
12, 12, 12, 10. 10, 12, 16, 12, 12, 14.
Okay. 10, 12, 16, 12, 12, 14. Gotcha. Alrighty. Now, I guess the first question should have been, what race are you planning on being?
Revenant.
Revenant. Boo 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 boo. And what race were you in life?
Maybe human, maybe changeling. You said humans are kind of meh, right?
Humans are very not like they're not making friends with anybody but other humans.
Then human.
Okay. The only good human's a dead human, so that might actually work.
Exactly. I'm already dead.
All right. It says here you get to pick a language.
Deep speak.
You could talk to deep crows.
That's the most metal of the languages. The
Fair enough.
American Trench.
We got the race. Now, what class would you like to be?
Assassin.
Okay. You are human, revenant, assassin. All these words sound like something
Hey,
out
stop
of...
muting your microphone when you type.
I can't. It doesn't pop up the notice.
Is it
You
not in the
right-click.
settings?
Use advanced keyboard shortcuts. I don't think it does. There's no setting. Like, you have to catch it the first time or else you're screwed, apparently. And lucky for me, I type way too loud.
Punch the keys, for God's sakes.
You
have
do
to-
the hunt and peck like one finger at a time, don't you?
Yeah.
You're the man now, dog.
Now, did you have any particular build you were looking for the assassin?
I haven't looked at feats and stuff yet. I'm at the skill page of the character builder, so I picked up some skills, paid the bills.
Okay. What skills are we looking at? Training.
Acrobatics, thievery, endurance, and streetwise.
That sounds assassiny to me.
Sounds pretty assassiny.
Acrobatics, thievery, endurance, and streetwise. Boop boop boop. And
So I don't know if we do backgrounds or anything like that.
I didn't do a background or a theme.
I thought you did something like that.
It's a class feature of the Berserker.
yeah,
It is
it's more
capable
like
blade, shadow
optional stuff.
I'm taking a Nightmare Stalker build, so I'll just be doing probably that.
Okay, you're gonna be a Night Stalker.
Yeah, inescapable blade, dexterity versus AC. That sounds good. Ignores cover damage. That sounds good.
Okay, inescapable blade. Choose. What would you like for your other at-will power?
Let's see what it says here. It suggests Shadow Storm.
Oh,
One
look at
damage
that.
for each creature adjacent to the target. It's not too bad. Still both first dexterity versus... Oh, all of them are dexterity versus... Oh, you know what? These wounds, they will not heal. Hey, do you have a lot of push-pull stuff outs?
I can.
He has slow and knock prone, I believe, for his
Yeah.
his main dealies.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up Executioner's Noose and
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
um,
Pulled and slowed. Very
Inestimable
nice.
Blade.
Okay. Choose that. Now we have encounter powers. We have Gloom Thief, Nightmare Shade, Shadow Darts, or Smothering Shadow.
Wait, and I'm the emo one?
You're emo in life. He's just emo in what he chooses to name his abilities.
That's true. That's fair.
So Shadow Darts is pretty badass. You see what that does?
Shadow Darts. Make 3 attack rolls. If any of them hit, resolve them in a single hit. All of them must miss for the attack. That's very cool. Hit 1d8 cold damage. If one of the attack rolls hits, 2d8 if 2
It's
hit.
1d8 per hit.
Nice. That's pretty
It's
cool.
not too bad. But I think I might end up going with Smothering Shadow. No, Nightmare Shades?
Grants combat advantage if you hit with it. And with your Night Stalker bonus, you get a power damage bonus equal to +2 due to your charisma. That's not bad. That's Gloom Thief. Gloom Thief is kind of cool. Make if you want to be invisible sometimes.
No.
Okay, well then it's not cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take the Night Stalker, the Nightmare Shades. That sounds awesome.
Okay. It's just sunglasses in the shape of ghosts. Alright, dailies, Grave Spike, Strangling Shadow, Targeted for Death, or Terrifying Visage.
Grave Spike sounds epic.
Let's see if it is epic. Ongoing damage is good. And falls prone whenever he takes that ongoing damage.
Ew.
Nice!
That's rude. I'm gonna need to take Headsman's Chop with all these people knocking people prone.
You get the Executioner's Axe too, right?
Yep. Well, Headsman's Chop is if a target's prone and you deal damage with an axe or a heavy blade, you add 5 to it.
Oh, Terrifying Visage is pretty awesome too.
Immobilizing. Lots of push. Pushing and immobilizing, that's pretty good, some crowd control right there.
The cool thing with Terrifying Visage is that your primary target is immobilized until the end of your next turn, regardless, even if you miss.
Oh yeah. Hitting just makes it a save ends, which, is slightly better, but yeah. A guaranteed immobilization is pretty good.
I have a Fortitude attack, an AC attack, and a Will attack. Is the Reflex one any good here? I don't get a Reflex one here. Fortitude and Will.
Yeah.
I might take Grave Spike for now.
Okay.
That prone thing, that sounds real nice.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Alright. So we've got all that. Now we need a feat.
Alright.
Doesn't have any recommendations that I can see.
Oh, snap.
You could do Chill of the Grave. Do some cold and necrotic damage.
Death's Blessing is really up my alley.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You are no longer considered a living creature. I wonder if that would screw up any sort of player helping player abilities. I don't think so. I think it just has an ally, so you don't have to be technically alive. The cleric keeps trying to heal you and just searing all your remaining flesh off.
Okay, so Dark Reaping, if somebody dies nearby, I can cause an additional necrotic damage too. So that's... Wow, Revenant powers are really good.
Oh goodness.
What's that?
The macros begin.
Are you making macros?
Yep.
Nice. I made a variable one for initiative that I like. Here, you can test it out. Shit.
This is where that high school coding all comes back.
Jeez.
I can't paste it.
Wow, why are there so many awesome feats? I don't remember there being that many awesome feats.
If you check the non-Roll20 chat, I posted the macro in there. Yeah, apparently Revenants are just OP.
Alright, well, so I want to pick something and move on.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick Grave Dust Assassin. Target Assassin Shroud takes damage when you deal damage with Dark Reaping.
Okay.
My weapon feats. So let's see, I get access to my Assassin. I can use Heavy Blades, right?
Let's see.
Military Heavy Blades, Military Light Blade.
Yeah, it looks like simple and military. Yeah. Heavy blade.
Not superior.
Not without the feet.
What's Military Heavy Blade, Military Light Blade. Okay, so what's Military Heavy Blade?
Military heavy blade would be a broadsword. You got a falchion, great sword, long sword, scimitar, a glaive, and I think that is all of your available heavy military blades. Glaive has reach. You can attack enemies that are 2 squares away with no attack penalty, and you can still make opportunity attacks only against adjacent enemies.
Yeah, and there's feats to extend that.
I might go with the Falchion.
Falchion punch. Oh, okay. I have Google open so I could Google what these weapons look like because I'm terrible with weapon names. So
It's a
just kind of a regular.
two-handed scimitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular, huge scimitar. Excuse me. Hiccups.
Okay, so for armor, I can wear leather armor, so I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
Is there anything else I need to think about?
I don't think so. Like I said, you start off with the adventuring gear. Whatever components of it you actually need.
Probably want some sort of ranged weapon, right?
You are allowed to have one. It's not mandatory, but recommended.
Claw fighter claw? The shit is that?
What?
If you want to be Wolverine.
Let's go, bub.
This is the claw. Gnolls who take the claw fighter feat receive. Apparently, nobody else can get it.
Alright, I'll take a crossbow for giggles.
Okay.
And is there any sort of thing I should worry about for whatever?
I'm not gonna make you guys track ammo. That's.
Thank you.
That's more work and less fun, and I don't feel like reminding you guys to keep track of that. So it's just as much for me as it is for you.
Oops.
You may occasionally get special ammo that you'll have to keep track of. You know.
Is it like any sort of like 25 gold piece?
No, this is. I mean, like I said, you guys have been wandering and doing your thing for a little while, so I'm going to assume you've, over that time, earned enough money to provide for the supplies that you currently have.
Okay.
And I'm going to start everybody off with about 20 gold. When we actually start the game.
Okay. So I shouldn't start off with a challenge-staking falchion or something?
No enchanted items just yet. You guys aren't that fancy. Those will come in due
Interesting.
time.
Master artisan. Huh.
All right. Your guy
I think
doesn't.
that's it for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably a girl, and her name will be Lash.
I was actually gonna say. You said female.
Yeah.
And you said name was Lash.
Yeah.
Lash. Any last name that she can remember?
No.
Okay.
Oh man, I really shouldn't pick Shara, should I?
Pick what?
Raven Queen. Yeah, I'll go with the Raven Queen.
Okay.
Appropriate.
Bros.
Fate.
Sis bros. Bro sisses.
Family. We go with the term family.
I'm a changeling, I don't understand that.
Alignment.
I guess unaligned.
Okay.
You probably don't want me being evil.
No, I would advise against that. That would probably not go well for everybody involved. Height.
Let's see. Between 5'5" and 6'2", there's an average of, was that 9 inches? 9-10 inches. So
Yes, 9 inches.
call her 5 foot 10 inches.
Okay. Exactly average. Weight between 100 and 200 pounds.
I guess 140.
Okay.
She's going to be slim.
All right. Age.
How old is this world?
The world, as far as everybody knows, is thousands and thousands of years old.
That fur is too thick for blasters. Awesome. Yes, I was thinking about having made her dead for a while before they brought her back.
Okay. Why don't we have an age at death and then a age since revival?
Time spent deaded.
We'll just go with roll 2d12. That would be bad. You'd want to go with 6, right?
She did not die at 12 years
Well,
old.
those are 2d12.
There you go, 24.
Okay. At death, 24. And how long do you want to say that she's been up and about again?
I have no idea. I need to know more about the world.
Okay. We'll leave that blank for now. Alive for blank years. Alright. Does Lash know of any surviving family members that she may have or anything like that?
I think no.
No? Okay. Family status unknown. Alright. What is her general background?
So I like the idea of this whole being whatchamacallit, contracted to kill people thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But she worships the White Raven Queen, so it's not like she's not like killing bad people or killing good people. She doesn't see it as evil, right?
Okay.
Death is the natural end of life.
Now, is she the type of assassin who takes work from pretty much anybody who's willing to pay, or
I
is this
feel like
maybe?
she takes it from the church.
I was about to say, is it like a special Raven Queen funded assassin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would mean you're probably hunting down necromancers and the like.
Yeah.
Does she know how she gained her undeath?
No, well, let's leave that as a mystery, right?
Okay.
Because we can explore that later.
Unknown how she came back. I didn't know if, maybe you had it in your mind that she killed the guy who brought her back, and then the Raven Queen was like, I like that thing you did. You got good hustle. All right. Let's do some info about revenants in general from what we can spitball for this world. Do they tend to gravitate towards any particular environment once they come back?
Figure they've got like an affiliation for things that remind them of where they were in life.
Okay.
Like they become unnaturally attached to things that remind them of where they were before.
Okay, so they...
So they might carry around bizarre things that aren't necessarily important, but it gets stuck in their consciousness, their head, sort of thing. So
You have a jar of dirt from your old hometown.
yeah, maybe not dirt, but seemingly mundane things.
Okay.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like a toy birdhouse,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
I carry an old fork that my parents used to have.
Right, that sort of thing.
Okay.
How very Little Mermaid.
It's called a dingle bopper.
Dingleberry, close.
No, it's completely different. So, of course, appearance is going to vary based on the race they were as they died.
Renee, click that one.
One of the things I want to
Good.
ask you, that's fucking awesome.
Good.
Now, when they come back, do they continue to rot as they normally would, or are they sort of preserved in the state that they were whenever the moment they were brought back?
No, they're actually healed back up to what they were right before they died by positive energy. So they're not like necrotic undead.
Okay. So different than zombies then, and you would probably
Right.
get offended at
But
the
they
being called one.
their eyes turn blue and their skin becomes pale.
Okay. Eyes turn.
So how'd you tell
blue.
changelings again?
You guys are White Walkers. So I assume they're going to sort of just attach themselves to whatever their previous kind of social group type thing was, if possible, as opposed to forming their own communities.
Yeah, they don't have their own communities.
Okay.
There might be like a support group, but I figure they're pretty rare.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you bump into each other at church.
Please join us.
That's right. And they're mostly, Easter and Christmas revenants. It's a joke for all you people living in the French Quarter.
I don't know what you're talking about. So once they're brought back, is there any sort of expected lifespan, or do they just kind of keep on going until somebody kills them?
There's rumors that they're brought low every 50 years and have to be brought back.
Okay.
But none outside of the inner circle of the Raven Queen know for sure. Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's necromancy.
There you go.
RQ's inner circle. No, for sure. All right. Is there anything else you would like to add for your character or Revenants as a whole before we move on to Renee?
You won't have time to get me. Yeah. I'm just along for the ride right now.
Oh, okay.
I think we're in a pretty good spot. Is there anything else that you want to do with Krish?
Nothing I can think of at the moment, and I think if anything does pop up, I'll just send you guys a message on either the forums or on Google.
Well, you can find me.
Yeah, I know all of your methods of contact.
Yeah, I'm J Darkson everywhere,
Indeed.
except one place.
Your heart.
We don't talk about that place. Not after last time.
He's not Jay Darkson in the no-no zone.
What? No zone.
Jay Sunrod.
He's Master Blaster. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Okay. So, Renee, you said you weren't ready yet?
No, I gotta leave in a minute for a game anyway, so.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, thank you guys for showing up. I will, I guess, edit these files and then have to find a place to host them. But we got a third of the way done, so that's something.
Sweet.
And, of course, if you guys, need to reach me here or on the message boards or whatever is fine. I'm usually on my phone most of the day. So, all right. I guess I will post a message whenever we get more people ready to make a person.
Perfect.
All right. Have
Cheers.
a good night. Have a good night.
I should have a webcam next time.
Excellent.